Hello, my name is Emma from the crochet blog Lulu Loves, and today I'm going to give you a tutorial on how to make these crochet daisy squares. I'll also be showing you how to join them so that you can make, well, anything you want really. I'm making a bag with mine, but you could make blankets, shawls, cushions, anything. Okay, so for this tutorial you're going to need some cotton yarn. I'm using an Aron weight yarn. This is Yarn and Colours Epic cotton yarn, and you will need it in 3 colours. I've used an orange, a white, and then a pink. You can use a DK weight yarn if you prefer. Just remember that your squares will be smaller, so if you're making a cushion cover or something that needs to be a particular size, remember to measure your finished square and adapt to the size of your hook. So for the Aron weight yarn, I'm using a 5mm crochet hook. You'll also need a small pair of scissors for snipping your ends and a darning needle for sewing in ends. And that's it. So we'll get started. So we're going to start with the orange or yellow yarn. And the first thing we're going to do is make a chain of 5. So do your slip knot. I work mine like this. You can work slip knots in lots of different ways. And then just pop that onto your hook. Okay, and we're going to work 5 chains. So yarn over hook, pull 3. Yarn over the hook and pull 3. And you're going to do that 5 times until you've got 5 chains on your hook. And now we're going to join them to create a ring. So to do that, you're going to put your hook into the first chain that you made, push it through, then grab the yarn, pull it through and pull it through the loop on your hook. So that's joined. You've joined that with a slip stitch. Now we're going to chain 1, that's to move up, and we're going to work 12 UK double crochet into the loop. So that's 12 US single crochets. So to do that, you're going to insert your hook into the center of the ring you've just created and pull up a loop. So you've got 2 loops on your hook, yarn over your hook and pull through both of those loops. You've created your first single crochet UK double crochet. Okay, so we need 11 more of those into that ring. So that's 11 UK doubles or US singles. That's 2. Through the center, pull up a loop, yarn over and pull through both. That's 3. There we go. 1, 2, 3. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. So just count those just to make sure. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, and the 12's there. 12. Okay, now you're going to slip stitch into the very first one you made and fasten off. Okay, just snip your yarn. If you prefer to join your yarn into your last stitch, your new colour, that's fine as well. I just thought this way might be a bit easier for if you're new to crochet. So there we go, that's what you've got. You could use a magic ring, but for this design I've left a deliberate hole in the centre, which I think looks pretty, but again, completely up to you. Okay, so for round 2, you're going to switch to your white yarn and you're going to rejoin it. So I'm just going to pull my yarn, new colour, through any of the stitches. There we go, like that. And then I'm just going to chain 3. 1, 2, 3, 4. Actually, I've chained 4, I lied. That's going to count as 1 UK treble. So the chain 3 counts as 1 UK treble or 1 US double crochet and a chain 1. Now in each of the rest of the 11 stitches around, we're going to be working 1 treble and then 1 chain. So that's 1 US double crochet and 1 chain. So to do that, yarn over your hook, insert it into the next stitch. You're going through both of those loops, yarn over, pull up a loop. You've got 3 loops on your hook. Yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over, pull through 2. There's your first treble crochet. So chain 1, and then you're going to do exactly the same into the next stitch. Okay, so make sure you go through both of those loops. So yarn over, insert into the next stitch, pull up a loop. You've got 3 loops on your hook, yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over, pull through 2, and then chain 1. And again, yarn over, pull up a loop, pull through 2, yarn over, pull through 2, and chain 1. So just continue like that until you've done all 12 stitches, and I will meet you back at the end. So I'm on my last one. I've got 12. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 treble crochet, each separated by 1 chain. And I've done my last chain, and now I'm going to slip stitch into the 3rd of that beginning 4 chain. So 1, 2, 3. I'm going to work a slip stitch into that 3rd chain. So I'm just going to put my hook through the stitch, grab the yarn, and then slip it through. So that's the second round done. So for round 3, we are going to be working clusters of treble crochet. So this is UK terms, so that will be clusters of double crochet if you're in the US. So I'm going to slip stitch into the first chain 1 space. If you can see, it's just here. So I'm just going to pop my hook into that space, grab the yarn and pull it through that loop on the hook. And now I'm positioned in that chain 1 space there. So for the beginning cluster, we're going to chain 2, yarn over, pull through, yarn over, pull through. Now this cluster is it's a 4 treble cluster, so it's 4 trebles together into 1 stitch. So this is going to act as the first leg of that first treble, and I'm going to carry on and work the stitch. So yarn over into the same space, pull up a loop and pull through 2 loops. And I'll leave that loop on the hook and repeat that again. Yarn over into the same space, pull up a loop and pull through 2 loops and leave that on the hook. Okay, so you've got 3 loops, yarn over, back into the space, yarn over and pull through 2 of those loops, and now you should be left with 4 loops on your hook. Now to complete the cluster, you're going to yarn over and pull through all 4 loops. There we go. Okay, and that's your first cluster. Now I'm going to chain 2. Okay, and we're going to work the same cluster again. We don't have to do the chain 2 now, so we're just going to work 4 treble clusters together. So yarn over into the space, pull up a loop, yarn over, pull through 2 loops. yarn over into the same space, pull up a loop, yarn over, pull through 2 loops. Okay, you've got 3 loops on the hoop, on your hook now. Yarn over into the space, yarn over, pull through 2 loops. You've got 4 on the hook now. Yarn over into the space, yarn over, pull up a loop, pull through 2 loops, and now you've got 5 loops on your hook. Now to complete that cluster, yarn over and pull through all 4. So there you go, there's your second one, and you've got your chain 2 spaces there. So chain 2, yarn over, pull through, yarn over, pull through, and you're going to repeat that all the way around. So in every space, chain 1 space, you will have one of these clusters. I'll work another one with you because they can be a bit tricky to get your head around to start with. So yarn over into the space, pull up a loop, you've got 3 on the hook, yarn over, pull through 2 and leave it. You've got 2 on the hook, yarn over into the same space, yarn over, pull up a loop, yarn over, pull through 2. You've got 3, yarn over into the same space, pull up a loop, yarn over, pull through 2. You've got 4 loops on your hook. Yarn over into the space, yarn over, pull up a loop, yeah, pull through 2, and now you've got 5. So when you've got those 5 loops on your hook, yarn over and pull through all 5. Then chain 2, 1, 2. So you want to repeat that all the way around. Here we go. And I will meet you back at the end. So you're going to be working in these spaces here, not the stitches, but these spaces here. So I'm just coming up to my last space, so I'm just going to work the last one with you. So you should end up with 12 of these clusters. And then do the last chain 2. And now you're just going to slip stitch into the top of that first cluster. So you can pop it there or wherever's most comfortable, really. I like to do it there, and then I just slip stitch into the next one as well. Okay, so that's finished. So yarn over and tie off your yarn for that colour. So that's what you should have so far. I think they look pretty like that, to be honest with you. So next we're going to add the border. So we're going to be working groups of UK treble and double trebles, or US double crochet and treble crochet, and then there's another round just of UK trebles. This first square, if you're going to use the join as you go method, you would complete both rows. For subsequent squares, you would complete this row and then you would join whilst you are making this row. So if you want to join these by sewing them up or slip stitching them together or crocheting them together, that's fine. You just go ahead and make both rounds. If you want to use the join as you go method, just make this round and then you're going to join in this round. So I will show you how to do that as well. I just find that's an easier way for me to join, but not everyone likes to do that. So so we'll move on. We're going to join our yarn now in between the clusters. So you're just going to insert your hook, and I'm just going to join with a quick slip stitch for this one. Pull through your yarn and chain 3. 1, 2, 3. That's going to count as your first treble crochet or your first US double crochet. So you're going to work 2 more of those into the same space. So yarn over and into the space, yarn over, grab the yarn, yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over, pull through 2. And again, yarn over into the same space, grab the yarn, pull up a loop, yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over, pull through 2. So now you've got 3 treble crochet in that space. Now we're not going to have any spaces in between our stitches, so we're going to go straight, we're going to repeat that straight into the next space. So yarn over into the space, grab the yarn, pull up a loop, yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over, pull through 2, and twice more into the same space. Yarn over into the space, grab the yarn, yarn up, pull through 2, yarn over, pull through 2. Once more, yarn over into the same space, pull up a loop, yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over, pull through 2. Now into the next space we're going to be working a double treble. That's to make the corners, so we need our stitches to be a bit longer. So for a double treble you're going to wrap your yarn around twice and work just as you would. So into the space, okay, yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over, pull through 2, and yarn over, pull through 2. So there you go, you've got a nice long stitch. And just repeat that, so wrap your yarn over twice, back into the space, yarn over, pull up a loop, we've got 4 loops, yarn over, pull through 2, we've got 3 loops, yarn over, pull through 2, we've got 2 loops, yarn over, pull through 2, we're back to 1 loop. One more time, wrap the yarn around your hook twice, into the space, pull up a loop, yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over, pull through 2, and yarn over, pull through 2. There we go. So if you can see now, you've got those longer stitches and they're going to make your corner. So we're squaring off this circle. Now to make the corner we're going to chain 2, 1, 2, and we're going to repeat that into the same space. So wrap your yarn around your hook twice and into the same space. Pull through 2, pull through 2, pull through 2. Again, into the same space, pull up a loop, pull through 2, pull through 2, pull through 2. One more time. Twice around your hook, into the same space, pull through 2, pull through 2, pull through 2, and you've just created your corner. So if I pop that down there, you can see. Okay, now we're going to repeat these stitches again. So that's 3 trebles or 3 US doubles into the next space. So yarn over once, into the space, pull up a loop, yarn over, pull through 2, pull through 2, there's your treble. And again, pull through 2, pull through 2. Once more, pull through 2, pull through 2. Okay, and you're going to repeat that, those 3 treble crochets into the next space. Yarn over into the next space, 2, and again, yarn over into the same space, pull through 2, pull through 2, and then once more, so you've got the 3, yarn over, pull through 2, pull through 2. Okay, so now we've got our corner and we've got 2 groups of 3 treble crochet, and we're going to repeat the corner. So that's 2 groups of double trebles. So into the next space, just find it there, yarn over twice into the space, pull up a loop, yarn over, pull through 2, pull through 2, pull through 2. There's your double treble. or your treble in US terms. And again, yarn over twice into the same space and just repeat that stitch. Pull up a loop, pull through 2, yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over, pull through 2. And one more time, yarn over your hook twice into the same space, pull up a loop, yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over, pull through 2. And there's your 3 double trebles. Now you're going to repeat that in the same corner. So we're going to chain 2, 1, 2, and repeat those 3 stitches in that same space to finish that corner. So yarn over twice into the same space, pull up a loop, yarn over 2, pull through 2, pull through 2, and again yarn over twice into the same space, pull up a loop, yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over, pull through 2. Once more into that space, pull up a loop, yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over, pull through 2. And you've completed your next corner. Okay, so now we're going to work the groups of treble crochet into the next 2 spaces. So yarn over once, find the next space, insert your yarn, pull up a loop, yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over, pull through 2. Twice more into the same space. Pull up a loop, yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over, pull through 2. Once more into that space, yarn over into the space, pull up a loop, yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over, pull through 2, and then move to the next space and repeat. Okay, and now we're going to work another corner. So it's always 2 and then a corner, 2 and then a corner. So it's our double trebles or our US trebles now. So yarn over, hook twice. Okay, into the next space, pull up a loop. You've got 4 on the hook, yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over, pull through 2. Repeat that twice more. Yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over, pull through 2 in the same space. Okay, chain 2 and repeat those 3 stitches in the same space to complete your corner. So yarn over twice into that same space, pull through 2, pull through 2, pull through 2, and again pull through 2, pull through 2, pull through 2, and again pull through 2, pull through 2, pull through 2. There we go. So we're coming up to our last corner now. So 2 lots of treble crochet in the next 2 spaces and then 1 corner and we're done. So yarn over into the next space, pull through 2, pull through 2, that's 1 treble crochet or US double crochet, 2 and 3, and 3 treble crochets into the next space, yarn over once, that's 1, that's 2 and 3, and now we've got 1 space left and we're going to work our corner. So that's 3 double treble crochet if you're in the UK or 3 treble crochet if you're using US terminology. So yarn over your hook twice, just grab some yarn into that space, pull up a loop, yarn over 2, yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over, pull through 2. It gives you that nice long stitch. So you want 3 of those. Not quite caught that. So this is number 3. Chain 2. And then 3 more back into that same space. So yarn over, hook twice, back into the same space. That's 1. 2, yarn over twice, and 3. Okay, there we go, we've finished. We're just going to join that now. No chains, we're just going to join it with a slip stitch to the top of that very first chain 3 we did. So there it is, here. So insert your hook into that stitch, can't find it. Grab the yarn and pull it through. There we go. So we've done our slip stitch at the top. Okay, now we're going to chain up 3 to start the next round. So here's the square. So we're now moving on to this final round. So we're going to chain up 3, and that counts as our first treble crochet. So 1, 2, 3. So now we're going to work 3 groups of treble crochet or US double crochet into each of these spaces, and then into the corners we'll work 3, chain 2 and 3. So I'll work along with you anyway. So we've chained up 3, and I'm going to move straight into that next space, and we're going to work 3 double crochets or treble crochets. Yarn over, insert into the space, pull up a loop, yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over, pull through 2, and you're doing that 3 times into each space until you get to the corner. Don't worry about this, that will sort itself out when we get round. So into the next space, yarn over, so that's 3 treble crochets into the next space, and that's taken us to the corner. So we're going to work 3 into the corner space, 3 treble crochets or US doubles, okay, that's 3, and now we're going to chain 2, 1, 2, and work 3 trebles back into that same space to complete the corner. Okay, I can show you there. There's your corner. And now we're just going to work 3 into each of these spaces, 3 treble crochets, 3 treble crochet, 3 treble crochet until we get to that corner space. There we go, so we're back to the corner space. Now we're going to work 3 treble crochet, 2 chain and 3 treble crochet into that same space. So if you're using US terminology, these are double crochets, all double crochets for this round. So now I'm working the next 3. I've done my chain 2 and I'm working the next 3 in that space. So there we go. We've come along, we've got a corner, we've gone along, we've got a next corner. So keep doing that along. So you want 3 trebles in each of these spaces until you get to a corner space. Then you're going to work 3 trebles, 2 chains and 3 trebles into the corner space. And again, 3 trebles into each of these. And then this last corner space, 3 trebles, chain 2, 3 trebles. And I will meet you back here. Okay, so I've worked my way around that last corner and I've done my 3 trebles, 2 chain and 3 trebles into that corner space. And if you can see, I've got 1 space left where I've got that beginning chain 3. So that chain 3 counts as 1 treble, so one of these stitches. So now we're just going to put 2 more into that space. So here we go. So we're going to work 2 more treble crochet or US double crochet into this space here, and then we're done. So yarn over into the same space, pull through 2, and 1 more into that space, pull through 2, pull through 2. So there you go, we've got 2 treble crochet and that beginning chain 3 which we're counting. So now what we're going to do is we're going to close that gap with a slip stitch. So we're going to get to that 3rd chain, 1, 2, 3, and we're going to put our hook in. We're going to pop it through that stitch, grab the yarn, pull it through, and then pull it through that loop on our hook, and we've closed it. So now just finish off. You can snip your yarn. So that's a complete square. So if you just wanted to finish it there, that's fine, you totally could, and you could get your squares together and you could join them with, I would turn them over to join them probably. You've got to sew in your ends. You could join them with a slip stitch, or you could use your needle and thread and just weave up and down to close those. So you totally don't have to, do anything else really. You could just work your squares like that. If you want to join your squares in the round, I will continue on with the video from here and show you how to do that. So I'll just show you what measurements I'm getting. So I've got a 5mm hook and I've got a Aron weight yarn. So mine are coming up at about 14.5 centimeters. So that's 5 3/4 inches. Okay, they should be the same both ways. They are. So if you want to make anything using those squares, just remember to measure your first square, particularly if you want something for a particular size cushion pad or something like that. And you can work out your measurements from the first square you've made. If you're joining as you go, you will end up with slightly extra space. Not much, but it will be a little bit, an extra couple of millimeters around, I would say. And that's it. So I'm going to carry on now and show you how to join as you go. So to join as you go, you need to work 1 full square. And for your second square, you're going to stop at the end of this 4th round. Okay, so what we do is we work along following the same pattern. So we're just using groups of treble crochet into the spots, and then we'll start joining here, this corner. We will join along here, corner to corner, and then we will continue working this square. So I'm just going to do that with you. So I'm going to start working that round as I just have, chained up 3 and moving into the next. Let me move that for a minute. So I'm working 3 treble crochets into each space to the corner. So I've worked my 3 trebles, and now you normally would work 2 chains in your corner space, but this is where we're going to start joining. So you're going to get your square, your complete square, and we're going to join to the corner. So instead of working those 2 chains, I'm going to slip stitch into this space here, and I'm going to do that just by inserting my hook into there, grabbing the yarn and pulling it through. There you go, there's those 2, and then I'm going to pull it through again. I'm just going to do that again a bit closer up for you. So here's the corner that I'm joining to. I'm just going to put my hook up, grab that yarn and pull through. Now I did that in one go there. Okay. Now work the chain 1 and then complete your corner. So work 3 trebles back into that space. So 1, 2, 3. Now I keep putting it down because I want you to be able to see the joins, but it is quite tricky. So there we go. So I'm joined here. It doesn't matter if you go in this way or that way. It will give a slightly, or up that way. It will give a slightly different look. It's preference really, whatever you like. This way just feels a bit easier for me. So I've done my 3 into the corner. Now I need to join into the next space. So again, I'm going to pop my hook up and through. That's grab the yarn. There we go. There's that. I've got 2 loops on my hook now. It's going straight through. It's a slip stitch, so that's attached. Now I'm going to work my 3 trebles into the next space. There we go. 1, 2, 3. Okay, I'm going to put it back down so you can see where we're going. So now I'm joined. If I pull them apart, you can just see I'm joined here at this corner and I'm joined here. I've just finished 3 stitches. They will line up. Okay, and now I'm going to slip stitch into this space. So I'm going up and through that space. I'm just going to grab the yarn and pull it back through, and I'm pulling it through the stitch on the hook, and that's done. And then I'm moving to the next space on here, and I'm working 3 treble crochet back into this stitch, just like the pattern says. 1, 2, 3. There we go. Okay, and now there's those stitches that are going to line up. So now I'm going to join into this space here. I'm going to put my hook into it. I'm going to grab that yarn and I'm pulling it through and pulling it through the stitch on my hook. Joined. 3 treble crochet back into the next space. Remember, this is UK terms, so that's 3 double crochet if you are in the US. There we go. Okay, so you can see we're joining as we're going along, so that's why it's called the join as you go method. And again, so now I'm going to the next space and I'm joining. I'm going to pop my hook up into that stitch. I'm grabbing the yarn anyway and I'm going to pull it through and pull it through that on my... Okay, and now I'm going into the next available space is the corner space, so I'm going to work 3 trebles into that corner space. 1, 2, 3. Okay, I'm going to slip stitch into this corner space here. I'm just going up, I'm grabbing the yarn and I'm pulling it through my hook. Now I'm going to chain 1 because we're turning a corner. There we go. So I've chained 1. I'm working 3 trebles back into that corner. 1, 2, 3. There we go. I've gone round the corner. So now we're all joined. We're joined. Okay, now you're just going to complete the pattern as you did before. So you're going to work 3 trebles into each of these spaces, 3 trebles, chain 2, 3 trebles into the corner, 3 trebles into each of these spaces between the groups, 3 trebles, chain 2, 3 trebles into the corner, and then we worked 2 trebles. So if you carry on working around 3 trebles into each of these spaces, I'll meet you back here on this last corner. So just remember 3 treble, chain 2, 3 treble into the corner space. So there we go. I've gone all the way around. This is the join. I've gone around working those groups of 3 treble crochet, and then this is the final corner, and we're back up to where we began. So that's that initial chain 3 there. I've just worked the corner. So I'm going to work 2 trebles into this space here and then join to the top of that chain 3, just like we did on the first square. Oops. So into that space, 2 trebles, there's 1. These are UK trebles, 2, and now join with a slip stitch to the 3rd chain of that beginning, chain 3. So just pop your hook through that stitch, pull the yarn through and pull the yarn through again, and then we're done. So you've just joined 2 squares. I'll just snip that a minute. There we go. So you've joined 2 squares. Now I was making a 3x3 bag for mine, so I would repeat this method for this next square here, and then I would repeat it again for the square it goes above. You use the same method throughout, but what I will do is once I've joined these squares, I'll show you how to join as you go along 2 sides. It is exactly the same method really, but I'll just go over it with you quickly, and then you're pretty much good to go on your own. Okay, so I've joined 3 along here, and I've just gone up to do my next row. So I'm just going to quickly show you how I join to 2 when I've got to join along 2 sides. It's the same method really. You know, you're just slip stitching into each of these spaces. The only difference really is the corner, and I've done it here. I don't know if you can see, but I've attached, instead of going into the corner of the square that I'm joining to, I've just gone and slip stitched into that corner of the square diagonally. I think it just makes it a bit firmer. You'll see in a minute, and that this gap will close up. It just makes the join a bit more secure, I feel. So I'm just going to go ahead and show you. Okay, so I'm just getting ready to join in my first corner, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to join along here first and then up here. So if I bring this, I'm going to join, instead of joining to this corner here, I'm going to go to the square diagonally. So I'm just going to work my 3 trebles into that corner. Here we go. So I've done my first 3 trebles of that corner. I'm going to slip stitch into the corner. So I'm joining along this row, but I'm going to slip stitch into the corner of this square. I'm just going to go up and under and grab the yarn and pull through. And then I'm going to continue finishing my corner by working those 3 treble back in. And now I'm just going to join as I was joining before. So I'm going to go to the next space on the square that I'm joining to, and I'm going to slip stitch into it. And then 3 treble back into the next available space, on the square that I'm working on. Slip stitch into the next available space of the motif that I'm joining to. 3 back into this square. Okay, slip stitch into the next space. 3 treble back into the next space on your joining motif or the square that you're working on. Slip stitch into the next available space. And then 3 treble back. I've worked my way back to the corner of this square. So 3 treble back into the corner space. Okay, so now you can see that we've joined the corner diagonally here. We've ignored this corner here, but this is going to get joined to this motif, so don't worry about that too much. We've joined all the way along. Now I should be joining to this corner, to this next space, but I'm not. I'm joining to the diagonal, the square diagonally. I'm going to do that just in the same way. I'm going to go under all of this. I'm going to grab my yarn and I'm just going to pull it through like that. I'm going to work my chain 1 and I'm turning along to work along the next side. So now I'm going to work my 3 trebles back into this space to finish that corner off. And then slip stitch into the next space of the next. So we've worked all up here, now we're going to work along here. So I'm going to slip stitch into that next space. 3 trebles back into the next space. I'm working this quite loose so that I can show you. Slip stitch into the next available space. So we've joined here. I'm going to slip stitch into there. Sometimes it's easier to join them if you just hold them up together and you can just work through like that and slip stitch. I'm just trying to do it like this so that I can show you. So 3 into the next space here. So if you just take a look at that corner, they're joined diagonally along here and diagonally here. So that's not going to move. You can join corner to corner like that. It will still be joined. I just prefer to have it nice and secure like that. So back to our joining, we're going to slip stitch into the next available space. And again, three treble back into the space on the motif that you're working on. And then slip stitch back into the next space, and I've come to the corner, so I'm working 3 into my corner. Now I'm going to slip stitch into this corner space, and we're all joined. So we've joined along this side, we've gone corner to corner diagonally, and we've joined along this side. I'm going to chain 1 and just rotate that work around, and I just need to finish off this row now. So I've chained 1, I'm going 3 treble back into this corner space, and then 3 treble into each space along until I get to that joining chain. I'm working 3 treble, 2 chain, 3 treble into the corner. So I'll meet you back. So here's the square we've just finished joining. I've joined along 2 sides, worked back. Here's our beginning chain 3, and I'm just going to work 2 trebles into that space, and then we're done with that join. There's 1, there's 2, and then we're going to join to the top of that chain 3 by pushing our hook through, grabbing the yarn and pulling it through, and then pulling it through the loop on our hook. So that's called joining with a slip stitch. And then you can tie off your yarn and weave in your ends. So there we go. That's how I join as you go when I'm working with squares like this. So I hope that was useful. Any queries, just let me know and I'll try and help as much as I can. But yeah, I think that's all. The pattern, the written pattern, is all over on my blog. I'll put all the links in the description, but there'll be a written pattern and photos as well. So if you need to have a look close up at any of these stitches, go over there and have a look. And I will see you again soon. So thanks for watching. Bye.